Once again, guys, comicbookinvest.com. This is my Fisherman's Tale. This is an Invincible first appearance list. Guys, welcome back to Fisherman's Tale. Dropping this video a little early. I'm excited. I had a buddy reach out to me and he's like, I don't understand why you don't have this on your site. And that is a Invincible's first appearance sort of list. We got them for G.I. Joe, we got them for Star Wars, we have them for everything else, but Invincible is this hot new property and we don't have an Invincible first appearance list. So I said, hey, I like the comic. I had been trying to collect this comic for the past 2 or 3 years, guys. If you have a complete set, you are amazing, because it is really hard to collect Invincible just because they've littered dollar bins for years and they're so low printed, especially the first 25 or so issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in installments, and this is the first 25 issues of Invincible, and we're going to look at some of the first appearances. We're going to look at not every issue, but we're looking at a little bit of everything. So guys, this is Invincible. This is the first 25 issues, and so are their first appearances, and also a few other things. So as always, I'm on comicbookinvest.com. If this is the type of thing you want to see this type of article, this type of video talking about first appearances, tell me that in the comments. Like, subscribe, join and get these type of things as they come out. So let's jump on in and look at Invincible, guys. If you haven't been watching the show, man, this show is amazing. I'm excited they got renewed. I think they got renewed for 2 seasons, not just 1, but 2 seasons. So very excited. So even some of these first appearances that haven't actually made it into the show, you'll get to see probably later on in the next couple of episodes or seasons. So first off, I have first cameo. I've been lucky enough to track these issues down. I've actually found the cover shot here. I love this cover shot where if you look at the X-Men homage cover, in one of the bottom right-hand corner, down there at the bottom is Invincible there in the corner. And then within the issue itself, you get he has one little panel, and you can see it up there in the top left-hand corner, where they're going through and they're tracking something down in the issue, and they interview him, and he, as you can see, he's holding him about to get punched. So this is his Noble Causes Family Secrets. And I've fallen into this trap before. I found a Noble Causes 3 and didn't realize it wasn't Family Secrets. This is a short 4-issue miniseries. One place that used to be you could find them is when stores would throw together those sets. That's how I found one of my copies. Is someone had thrown together a set and had it for $15, maybe $20, all 4 issues. I bought this, and this is after the show had been announced, but not right away. So let's jump in and let's keep going with this. This is always the thing. I don't understand this. These are the preview issues. All 4 of these issues came out in November, right before issue 1 came out, or November, December, right before issue 1 came out of Invincible. Some people say Tech Jacket number 1 is the first preview appearance of Invincible, and I lean towards it because it came out technically first. Savage Dragon 102, other people say, and I think even CGC has it labeled as first appearance or first preview appearance of Invincible, mainly because Savage Dragon 102 was actually supposed to come out in August and then got delayed. So when you look at when books are supposed to come out, Savage Dragon 102 was supposed to come out first, but it didn't. Tech Jacket 1 came out first by a week. I mean, you're talking November, first week in November, second week in November. So you're not talking drastic difference as far as, but so those are 2. And then you have Masters of the Universe. The Masters of the Universe is probably your easiest one to find. It has 3 or 4 different covers. This is the gold across the top. You also have a J. Scott Campbell cover. You even have a second print cover that I believe has the Invincible preview, and it still is a second print. And that second print is a very highly sought after. And then G.I. Joe number 12, which no one talks about. Topher mentioned this back in 2015. He wrote an article and had these books listed in it. And actually, I started collecting them because of that article before I was even a writer on CBSI. And G.I. Joe 12 is one that's ignored. No one even pays attention to it, have an Invincible preview in it. But all 4 of these have previews before Invincible 1 comes out. But for some reason, Invincible preview is not considered a first appearance. Everyone tosses back and forth. But the fact that we go crazy for a preview magazine cover shot of Miles Morales, and we spend the money that some people are spending on that book, but these are still found for $5, $10, $15 online. Not all of them. The Savage Dragon 102 has been hard to find, also just because it's a very low printed book. But guys, all of Masters of the Universe is probably the most highly printed book. Tech Jacket's hard to find. It took me a while to track down a price I was willing to pay for a copy of this. G.I. Joe 12 is actually pretty easily to find, except for it's in dollar bins. It's one of those books that people just ignore. They don't even realize it's in there. So these are the preview issues. Then here are all the different copies of Invincible #1 that are out there. You had the first issue, and that's actually going to be on the next slide. You can see, but they all look almost identical. The first 2 or 3 homage covers here. Larry's comic shop did one, a limited edition. I think it was like 2,600, 3,000 issues. So when limited, it's still more, but it's still a lot of covers of it. And I think it came out after the first issue came out, so it's not the same day up. But from what I understand, people tell me all the time, man, I used to go to shows, and Larry would be there trying to give these things away. People will swear back 2014, 2016, they could buy 4 for $20. These were common books. By the time I finally tracked some down, because I got late into the game, late onto Invincible, I was able to find some for $20. But now these are climbing. These are hitting $100, guys. These are hitting $150. The Image First, I have a little stack of these. These are sort of fun. These are dollar issues. There was 2 printings of this. I don't know if that even matters to anyone because they look identical. But Image First, this used to be a comic book to find. Now it's a little bit hard to find this particular Image First. And then you had a free comic book day when the show got announced. You can see the Amazon Prime Video little logo there. This came out, I'm guessing, last year. And then you had the local comic shop day with the gold foil that you could buy for cover price or whatever. It's a really, really cool. I think I bought a couple of these when they came out. Same time as Something's Killing the Children. This came out as well. I will say that what Skybound is doing right now is they are releasing special editions of that particular cover, their local comic shop day. But instead of being gold foil Invincible, there's a blue foil, there's a red foil, and I think, in fact, today on Friday, whatever today is, Friday, May 15th, Friday, May 14th, they're actually having a sale today where they're going to have a black foil one. And then finally, you have the Amazon Prime. When the show came out, they released issue #1 again, and that's the new cover with the anime character, or the animated show version characters. So let's jump in and look at Invincible #1. As if any first list, there's a lot of first appearances within this. Guys, all my information that I'm getting, I went to several different sites, and Key Collector Comics, for the most part, had the most accurate information. There's a couple places I'll point out where they had a little bit of the wrong information, but first appearances, of course, you got first appearance of Invincible, Omni-Man, who's the father of Invincible. You have Deborah Grayson, who's the mother of Invincible. And guys, what I went and did is I went and found pictures of these characters, and these are images that in the animated series Amazon put out for the show. So these are the animated images of who showed up in the show. The far right is Titan, and Titan, I couldn't find a good, from the animated side of it, I couldn't find a good image. So this actually just is an image from the comic. He's wearing the suit. He's the bad guy, but he's the blockhead guy that Invincible fights in episode 1. That was the one thing with watching the cartoon. Some of the stuff got all pushed together. So what happened over several issues happened all in one episode of Invincible, which is fine because it still is a great show, and it does and treats the comic fairly, and I really do like that. But you can see these characters. There's only a little brief cameo of Adam Eve in this, so she's not majorly in this. And then it says a cameo appearance of Science Dog. We'll look at him later because he is actually just on the comic book cover. And that's not that important in the scheme of things if you're going for first appearance of Science Dog, if that's someone you're going to collect, which it does have a 1 or 2 issue comics, and we'll look at that later on. Issue 2, we got more first appearances. We have Alan the Alien, the full appearance of Adam Eve, the Mahler twins, Robot, Rexplode, Duplicate. Guys, and also, I hope you're catching this. Copies ordered, 8,000 copies for an issue 2 of any book. Think about how low printed that actually is. If they survived, the number of issue 2s that are floating around out there, and especially that are floating around that are going to be 9.8 worthy. Because, guys, this is back in the day when no one was quite sure outside of Spawn if it was going to survive. And even Spawn is super low printed at this point, but you're talking some super low printed books in this first 10 issues. We even had an article back on CBSI years ago that's we wrote the top 5 low printed issues, and most of them fell in the first 10 issues. But this is the second Guardians of the Globe team, because the first, if you haven't watched the show, the first Guardians of the Globe team and what happens to them. But this is where you get to meet some of these characters, and there's some fun characters. And I really do like them. And then you have the Mauler twins, which are bad guys that the first time you meet the team is also the first they're fighting the Mauler twins. It's pretty cool. And then you have Alan the Alien, and Alan the Alien is Seth Rogen. He's voices the character, and so he also is the one who's got Invincible made. He was behind it 100%, so that he voices the Alan the Alien character, who I don't think appears in the first episode. I think he shows up in the next few episodes. This is Invincible issue 3, the first team appearance of the Flaxans, a warring race of aliens. Once again, this is from the TV show. This is an image of the characters. I took away the background so you can just sort of see the Flaxans as they come through. That was a really cool. I did enjoy this sort of fight scene in the episode. It was a well done, I thought. Once again, look at the 7,000, 3,500, or 350 small print run. Then we jump up to issue 6. There weren't any first appearances in 4 and 5, and then you get first Black Samson, and then you get the Reaniman, which, man, this is a shot from the cartoon, but if you actually look at how some of them are drawn in the issues, they are just zombified, and you can sort of see it there on the cover. Robot zombie type characters and just sort of messed up looking stuff. And then you get Black Samson, who gets mentioned in an issue of Capes Incorporated #1, but this is where you actually see him in this issue, in small print run, 6,000. Then we have issue 7. This is the first appearance of Biplane and Kursk, I guess how you say name. The first team appearance in Death of the Guardians of the Globe. This is this superpower team that Omni-Man's a part of. And you get to see him, and you see it there, that image, that group shot right there, and the entire team. Darkwing, Martian Man, Red Rush, Aquarius, Green Ghost, War Woman. Very reminiscent of the Justice League. Is sort of how they're drawn and created. You easily see that. Kursk is there. Reminds me of Zoom from Flash. Biplane, I couldn't find an animated show. I don't think he actually appeared in the animated show. So that's a different image I found of him. But there you go. There's a bunch of first appearances in issue 7. So it's another issue that's definitely worth tracking down and trying to figure out if you can find it somewhere. So once 6,000 print run. Issue 8, first appearance of Damien Darkblood. Man, he was awesome in the show. He's the detective there on the side who's a devil demon. Just awesome. Reminiscent of sort of how Hellboy's drawn. Great look to him. First appearance of Amber Bennett. That was interesting in the show, because you can see the two things. Amber Bennett's the blonde in the comic, but she's a African American in the TV show. The character's great. It was a great character. Introduced later on in the comics, issue 8, but issue right away you meet her in issue first episode. And then you get the first appearance of Elephant. Once again, 6,000, small print run. We're back to issue 9, the first team appearance of Lizard League. King Lizard, Iguana, Komodo Dragon, and Salamander. Best I could do was find this group shot of the team. You can sort of see the different lizard or reptilian personalities. Shrinking Ray. Shrinking Ray is a girl in the animated show, but is a man or boy in the comic. Monster Girl. Now, man, she is a sweet character. I like her in the animated show. It took me a while to find an image of her transforming into her monster character, but it's so cool. Issue 25 it has an origin story, which is really good for her. And then you also have Bulletproof, shows up as a cameo, but I have his image is going to be in a later slide. 6,000 print. This is issue 10. This is the lowest printed issue of Invincible. It's not really a great cover. There's another Science Dog comic that he's reading. This is actually the very first issue of Invincible I ever got. Found it in a quarter box. Amazingly, now this is 4 years ago, 5 years before the show was ever announced. but it was a series I was sort of interested in. Found it for a quarter. Very first issue, didn't realize it was the lowest printed issue of Invincible. But this is Doc Seismic. So I wish there was more characters, but that's all the first appearance for this issue. Then we jump to 14. This is the full appearance of Bulletproof. One panel, but his name speaks and his powers are explained. And now the issue numbers are starting to climb again. 8,219. So it's climbing a little bit, but still not a high print run. Then you have the Aquarius who was killed in the back in issue 7. Here's the second Aquarius, as in DC, you always had that. In Marvel, the second people or the number 2 or number 3. 8,600. So it's climbing, not drastic, not like mind-boggling numbers. The first appearance of Angston Levy. This is a character that Topher and True First is very high on. He thinks that season 2 is going to use him a lot. Key Collector highlighted that as well, right after Topher wrote about it. So first appearance, 8,400 copies. And the image I have is actually from a later issue, but his first appearance is in issue 16. This is issue 18. First appearance of Machine Head in Invincible title. He actually appeared in Capes, and that's where everything that Kirkman wrote in this time period, because he wasn't a big time writer. Walking Dead hadn't taken off, Invincible hadn't taken off, so he was writing lots of stuff, lots of different places, and a lot of this stuff intermingles. So in Capes, this Machine Head character is there, and this image doesn't come from that, but I think this image actually comes from the cartoon or the animated series. And then Russ Livingston, an astronaut who became the host of a Vengeful Alien. Once again, I tried to grab from the animated stuff. And then you also have the first appearance of Isotope. So you get some more first appearances, 9,000 issues, so climbing back up a little bit. Then you have, this is issue 19. This is one issue that's been climbing. People have been interested in it because of Battle Beast. Battle Beast is over here on your right, right beside the issue of the comic, holding his mace or hammer. Then you have characters like Magna Attack and Magmaniac. The first appearance of Tether Tyrant. From the looks of Tether Tyrant, he showed up in the cartoon, and so did Magna Attack. So you got some fun characters, lots and lots of bad guys in Invincible fought throughout the animated show. And then you have, and this is where this is the part where Key Collector had to rewrite in some of the stuff that Key Collector had, because this is the first appearance of Darkwing, of the second Darkwing, formerly Nightboy. In Key Collector, he called him Nightwing. So it's actually Darkwing. And I understand the mistake, but it's one of those, it hasn't been corrected yet. Copies ordered by retailers, 9,860. Darkwing 2. And then you got issue 25. Guys, issue 25, I really, really like this issue. I read through it when I started seeing, okay, it's first appearances. So first appearance of Science Dog. There's Science Dog. They're shooting the gun. He actually appears. And then there's the first appearance of Octoboss and the leader of the Squidmen. There you see a comic panel with his team. This is not actually from issue 25. That panel is from a different, but you sort of get a better shot of Octoboss, so that's why I chose that one. And then you get the first appearance of Mantis, an alien race, and that's actually a panel from the issues, actually just sort of cut and pasted from within the issue, because this is where you Omni-Man, you get to see him again, Grayson's father, or Invincible's father. But what I really liked is at the end of the issue, it's issue 25, so they always make them oversized. You get the origin stories of like half the characters. All the Guardians of the Globe, or not Guardians, all the Guardians of the Globe Team 2, or whatever, you get to find out about Monster Girl, you get to find out about Science Dog, you get to find out about Rexplode, and all of them in the back of issue 25. So if you're looking for origin stories, if you like those type of things, you like the spec on those type of things, that might be the issue to go after. That issue, guys, I looked, I didn't see them available very often online at all. If not, they're $30, $40, $50. So, but I like this issue. I will keep my eye out for this one, because this is one that could slip by. But Invincible, anything Invincible is gone. It used to be you could always find issues 50 and above in dollar bins all the time, and I'm slowly watching those disappear. I have a nice little set of Invincible because of all those dollar books that I bought. I started doing it after the show was announced, but before everyone jumped on the show bandwagon. So guys, this is my list. This is the Invincible thing. Some really exciting books in here. I'm excited. I'm going to drop every one of those slides will be an image on the article. There's not going to be a whole lot of writing. It's going to be mainly just images. So you can quick reference, you can go back to it, you can go, okay, because one of the things I hate about a lot of first appearance lists, it's so hard to navigate, and you go, who is that character I want to see? But I'm going to try to put a picture of the character next to the cover so you can know when I say Science Dog, this is who I mean with Science Dog. When I say Rexplode, this is who Rexplode is, because the cover doesn't always tell you what the first appearance is, but that way you can sort of place it in your mind, especially because more than likely, if you're excited, it's because you've watched the animated show. Because if you've read the book, then you already know who the characters are, and you already know what issues are worth collecting, and you've been collecting them. But yeah, guys, this is CBSI. If you like the stuff, you want me to continue on, I plan on doing it. It just matters how fast I get to it. I plan on doing the next issues. It might be a 2-part series. It might be a 3-part series. It just sort of depends. But this is comicbookinvest.com. Thanks for watching.